Listen, I don't know enough. Like I know what I know just about in general about that the war drums are always going to bang loudly because that's what we do. But I don't know details.
Well, here's what we know. The NATO has gotten involved, no question. So this is not just a war against Russia. There's a reason why Ukraine has recaptured a certain degree of territory. A lot of it just has to do with the fact that NATO is involved. There has been billions and billions of dollars of our money that has been put into Ukraine. How it's being used, we'll never know. Is there a weapons, convoy, if you will, that's constantly being flown into the nation? Yeah, it's very possible. I would imagine that that's probably so. But, all war is hell, and war is always an economic opportunity. So when you see this endless amounts of money that is coming from, the Treasury, and it's being sent over there, and you're considering all of the problems that we have here at home, that's one element of it. But then the other element that you have right now is you have President Putin of Russia, who is not exactly a stable individual. He's very much a political tyrant, but, which you have to remember, is in any type of warfare, you have to give your opponent an opportunity to save face. If you don't, and they have the type of weapons that can annihilate the planet, don't think that they would, there would any be reason not to use them. Because if he thinks he's going to get cooed or God knows what, who knows what a person like that is capable of doing. What I do know and what I do believe is that right now we're dealing with a very dangerous situation, because President Biden went on national TV recently and said, we have a way of dealing with this problem by eliminating the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And lo and behold, within a matter of hours, it was destroyed. Now, a rational person will look at that and say, that's an act of war. And if you go to war with Russia, then that's World War III. Now, you have to ask yourself, is that something you're prepared to do? Now, most of the people who are loud and proud about supporting Ukraine and putting the flag in their profile and all this, these are not people that serve in the military. They are not from parts of the country where you would be forced to serve in the military because it's your only economic way out of your circumstance. And they are certainly not somebody who would ever think twice about acting in what I would consider a chicken hawk manner.
We're going to need to have like another veterans. We're going to need to have like Isaiah on, and maybe Danny Scherzen, and people that have actually served, like, come on and talk about this.
There are people who certainly do not understand how many people have already been killed and will continue to be killed. The United States military-industrial complex is prepared to kill millions. And why, Jen? Why are we prepared to kill millions in Ukraine? Because we think we're stopping Putin.
Well, why are we willing to kill? Well, it's just war. It's profit.
Well, yes, but there's another layer to that.
Which is?
Again, how much natural resources are in Western Ukraine? And we want them.
Oh, it's always about natural resources. And I mean, what's in it for us?
So when Putin says that Ukraine is part of Russia, now you can say that that's not true. And I would be inclined to agree. There is a degree of sovereignty that absolutely must be afforded to Ukraine. There's also a significant Russian population that's in Ukraine that wants to be part of Russia again. So what I would say is the average American who thinks they fully understand what's going on there, we know as Americans kind of very little when it comes to domestic issues.
Oh my God, we know so little.
You think you know anything about what goes on in foreign affairs?
You think because you watch MSNBC or CNN?
You think you're informed?
It's not good, people.
The only thing I know is what is real, what is tangible. We're sending money over there. We have extended the NATO border from East Germany all the way to the front line of Russia.
Which
if you have any idea how
supposed to do that.
Do you have any idea how much land that mass that is? It's probably about half the United States.
Can we just talk how we provoke all the time? All the time. I feel like we're the annoying little brother that's just sitting there doing that.
I'm not touching you.
Right. And then the brother hits, and then the brothers who gets punished. And that's what it feels like. Like we sit there being so provocative. We keep our warships at people's borders and in their waters. And it's just like, And then people dare do things that show any sort of like self-determination, and we just can't handle it. Yeah. It's just crazy.
So what I would ask everybody is, if you are convinced that Putin just unprovoked went into Ukraine, I would ask you, why exactly would he have gone in there unprovoked? Is it possible that maybe they've been attempting to get NATO off their border, or they were attempting to get part of the land? You know, again, we invade countries all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And mess with their elections.
Correct. So when we decide that we don't like what another country's doing, it all of a sudden becomes a big problem. Now, again, I'm only bringing this up because we as Americans really don't have any idea as to what the motivations are of Putin, of Zelensky, of anybody. We can think that we do, and very smug people in politics think that they know, but they don't know. They don't have any clue.
There's only a few people in the whole world that know.
Yeah.
It's a very small group of people. And it doesn't matter what their nationality is. They all are on the same team, and it's not ours. That's the thing. Like, I really don't care what language my oligarchs speak.
All wars are fought over money and power. That's all they're fought over. If you think there's any grander scheme here, there isn't one. There is rich natural resources in the trillions in Ukraine.
And let's be real, war in and of itself is so profitable.
Absolutely.
Even if there was no end game, like, which there really isn't one, but let's say they didn't even have a strategy. It's just the whole idea of just the war machine. It just gets their juices flowing. Debbie hasn't, somebody said Debbie likes war. Debbie hasn't met a war she doesn't like.
That's true.
Debbie gives the Department of Defense, she gives them more money than they asked for. Like, she's all in that. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.